Good morning to all my dear students. A very hearty welcome to my channel. In today's class, we are going to study about how to generate pseudo-random numbers. I hope you all are already following all my previous videos. Please watch them thoroughly and you'll be able to understand all the concepts in a better way if you keep following my videos regularly. So in today's video, we are going to study how to generate pseudo-random numbers. Now, why these random numbers are called pseudo-random numbers? That is because these numbers are generated using some predefined algorithm, and hence the method of generating these random numbers is already determined somewhere. Okay, we will be using the random module for generating the random numbers, and we'll see how we can do that. With the help of this random module, you can create wonderful programs, mostly games, which help you with generating anything randomly, like a jackpot game, a tombola game where numbers are generated randomly, also a number guessing game. So this way you can create any program, you can create any app which involves the generation of random numbers. So let us move ahead and see how random module works. So we are going to generate random numbers using a module that is random. So we will import random module in our program first of all. So this random module contains two very important functions. One is the random function and the other is the randint function. So in our class today we are going to discuss mainly these two functions and see how they work. Okay. So we start with the very first, that is the random function. Now how does the random function work? Its syntax is random, which is the module name, dot random, which is the name of the function, and within this we are not going to provide any arguments. This function generates pseudo random numbers within the range 0.0 and 1.0. So you can just check it. If we have 0.0 and we have 1.0, that is, if we convert them into integer form, it would be 0 to 1, but random function always returns a floating point number. And hence we started from 0.0 and ended at 1.0. Now this upper range, this is known as the upper limit and this is known as the lower limit. So this lower limit is included, but the upper limit is not included. So you can see that the numbers are equal to 0.0, but they will always be less than 1.0. Let us see how this random function works. So I'm going to open the Python idle, and here you will check. First I'm going to import random. Now I'm going to print random dot random and I'll press enter, and you can see a number is generated in floating point value, that is 0.44236 and so on. Okay, so this is a random number which is randomly generated. Next time when you execute the same program, it will generate some other random number. So every time you execute the statement, it is going to generate any random number. Let us write a short program on this. So I'm going to generate some 10 random numbers in my program. So I'm importing random and I'll be using a loop here for I in range 10. It will take up values from 0 to 9. Okay. And here I'm going to write sorry, random dot random. That's it. And my program ends. So I'm just going to run the program and you can see some 10 different random numbers are generated over here. If you want, you can convert these into integers, you can convert this, you can round off these values up to some places after the decimal, or you can simply use these values in your program. So we will see the application a little later, but right now we are only going to see what the function does. So this is the random function which generates random numbers. Now we will use the same random function to generate numbers in a range. If the range is A to B, where A is the lower limit and B is the upper limit. So in this case, how are we going to generate the number? So we will write random dot random multiplied by upper limit minus lower limit plus lower limit, which is into B minus A plus A. So this will generate random numbers between A and B, but B will not be included. A will be included. And these numbers are going to be floating point numbers. That is, it will generate random number in a particular range where the upper limit is not included but the lower limit is included, and the number returned is a floating point number. Let's check it out in our program. So this is our program. I'm going to delete this statement and I'm going to ask for the limit from the user. So I'm writing A equals int input, enter the lower limit. I'm writing B equals int input, enter the upper limit. And I'm going to generate the random number within a range. So I'm taking for I in range 10 because I'm going to generate 10 random numbers, and print random dot random multiplied by B minus A plus A. So that's it. And now let's run the program and see. So it is first going to ask me for a number. I'm going to close this. Sorry. I'm going to restart the shell because I forgot one statement. So I'm going to add that statement here. That is print random numbers in range A to B. So this is a small line which is going to be printed after we ask for the range from the user, such that the user knows that yes, the random numbers are being generated in this range. So I'm going to give the lower limit as 10 and the upper limit as 50. And you can see random numbers in range 10 to 50. These are all the random numbers. So you can see 31, 32, 31, point something, 10, 33, 23, 43, 48. So these all are the random numbers within this range. Now this program can be used for generating random numbers within any range. So I'm going to take another value 1 and 100, and we'll see what random numbers are generated. So 94 is there, 51 is there, 40 is there, 36 is there. So these are random numbers which are generated. If you want, you can convert these random numbers into integers also by using the int function, which will truncate all the places after the decimal. And this is how you can see all the places after the decimal are truncated. So this can be used for playing a jackpot game where you can where the system can generate any random number, and the player has to guess the number, and you can check that if the number is exactly matching, then the person gets the first prize. If the number is one or two numbers lower near to that number, either lower or higher than the number, but the range is very less, you can give the second and the second prize. And if again the range is a little more, okay, then you can give the third prize. So this way you can create a nice random number guessing game for people. Also, you can implement the Tombola game with this. In Tombola, we already know that numbers are generated between 1 and 0 and 88. Okay, so sorry, 0 and 90. 90 is the last number. So you can easily create a program where every time your program is going to generate a random number, and you can save the number of things, like there are a number of prizes there. Full houses there, three full houses are there, there is one lucky number, bullseye, four corners. So this way you can fix the prizes, fix the various rewards or thresholds in your game, and you can accordingly award the people. So this, now because people have to usually buy a tombola board for doing that, instead of that you can just create your own tickets by generating random numbers in a grid and printing that and distributing it to the people. So this is how, that is one implementation of random numbers. And another one is, while people start playing the game, actually your system can automatically generate numbers. So this is how you can implement the Tombola game also. Okay, so when I'll demonstrate that too in a few days. So this is how we can generate random numbers in a specific range. Now specific range, but the value is being returned in the form of a floating point number. There is another inbuilt function, that is randint. This function takes up a range similar to the previous one in the form of A and B, where A is the lower limit and B is the upper limit. And this way what is done is, any number is generated in the integer form, and that too in that the upper and lower limit are both included. Okay, and the number is returned in the form of an integer. So all you have to do is, you have to use the function in this way: random dot randint a comma b. That's it, and this will return an integer value, a randomly generated integer number, which can be equal to a or b also, or it can even lie within that range. So let's try out this one also. So I'm not going to change anything else. I'm only going to change this line here, and I'm going to write randint a comma b. That's it. And let's see. Okay, there is an unexpected line. There has to be one more closing bracket here, which I forgot. Okay, so lower limit I am entering 1 and upper limit I am entering 100, and you can see these are, 1 is included now because 100 is where we can keep on executing the program to check the upper limit. So sometime it may even reach the upper limit, that is 100, because it is a random number generator. It randomly generates numbers, so we cannot predict which number will be generated. But this is for sure that in this case both A and B are inclusive. Okay, so this is how it returns. You don't have to change or convert anything. It automatically returns the random numbers in integer form. Now, based on this, we are going to solve some HOTS questions. Okay, so let's see some HOTS questions over here. So as you can see on the screen, there is a question. Given the following Python code, which is repeated 4 times, what could be the possible set of outputs out of given 4 sets? Where DDDD represents any combination of digits. So that is not important here. You can use any combination of digits. Now what is written over here? We have import random, then print 15 plus random function into 5. So firstly we know that random function, it generates any number between 0.0 and 1.0. Okay, so random function will generate any number within this range. Now if you multiply this by 5, so if suppose I multiply 0.0 by 5, so I will get 0.0 only. And if I multiply 1.0 by 5, then I will get 5.0. That means now my range will be stretched from 0.0 to 5.0. Right. So now my range has been increased. Sorry. Now next is adding 15 to the random number. So if suppose I have, now this is what, why am I taking the range? Because any random number means any number can be generated randomly. So minimum the value will be this and maximum the value will be this. Now if 15 is added to 0.0, what will happen? It will be 0.0 plus 15, where the lower limit will be 15 and 1.0 plus 15 would be 16. Sorry, not 1.0, I'm very sorry. It would be 5.0 plus 15, which will be 20. 20.0. So the lowest limit will be 15.0 and the upper limit will be 20.0. So at any time, the number generated would be 15 point DDDD up to 20 point DDDD. Right. So 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Any of these numbers can be there. So let's start eliminating the options. Let's take the first option. We can see we have 17, 19, 20 and 15. So here 20 will not be included. It will be, lower limit will be 15.0 and the upper limit will not be included. 20 won't be included. Hence, we reject this option. Next is 15, 17, 19, 18. We can accept this. Next is 14. We have seen that the lowest value is 15. So, this option is again eliminated. Then we have the last one, 15. Yes, it is also quite possible that all the 4 times only 15 will be generated. So that is also quite possible. So here the possible outputs are second and fourth option. So this is how you have to solve these questions. These can come as 2 marks or 3 marks question in your board exam. And these are HOTS or conceptual questions. So you have to solve it by, you can solve it only when the concept is very clear to you. Let's take up another type of program. So here I have that program. So I'm going to insert the second image. Now this is the next question. What could be the minimum possible and maximum possible numbers by the following code? So import random, print random, rand int. Now we know that rand int function generates any number within a particular range. Here the range is 3 comma 10. So the lowest value will be 3 and the upper limit will be 10 and both will be inclusive. Right, so both will be inclusive. And you can see minus 3, whatever number is generated, 3 will be deducted. So that means our new range will be 3 minus 3, which is 0, and 10 minus 3, that is 7. So any number will be generated within this range. So our minimum possible value is 0 and the maximum possible value is 7 over here. So this is how we have to solve these questions. In the next class, we will be learning about a few more such questions which use the random and randint function. So I hope students you really benefited from this video. If you really like this video, please do press the like button and do subscribe my channel if you have not done it so far, and also share it with your friends. The basic cue to solving such questions is you should know the basics of the random function and the randint function. Okay, what values they take and what values they return. Okay, and what is the data type of the values they return. So if you are clear with this concept, you will be easily able to solve such questions. So thank you everyone. See you again in the next class.